Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here, and welcome to a very different episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm mainly doing this because I'm too lazy to make an ad. I'm doing this because I care about you guys, and I want to give you guys quality content. But honestly, this is some banger stuff, all right? So without further ado, let's get right into the news, my mans. This game makes me rage quite a bit. I have absolutely lost my damn mind when I'm PvPing in this game. Shall we reminisce?
There's no reason why I should not be correct.
Now, even though those things happened, I still think that what those moments taught me is that PvP is not so perfect the way it is. So I think what KingsIsle really needs to do is put more time into PvP. You know, I think that's something that a lot of people agree with. Now, how do you fix the solution? What is the solution, Sauce? Oh, good question, my man. Here's the thing, right? Whenever you add things into the game, you always increase the chances of it being broken. But I really do think the best way to really just add more variety, add something to the game that we haven't had before, is really to add more spells that have like a utility base. Now, I've been saying this for a long time, but recently, Duelist101, awesome site, gonna link it in the description. This author of Duelist101 named Eric Stormbringer, he put out tons of utility spells, and I thought I'd showcase some of them. I think they're okay with it. I've done this in the past. But yeah, I am gonna credit, obviously, these are not my ideas, but I definitely thought they should be spread, you know, they should be spread to the wider community, because honestly, some of these spells that Eric made up, or whoever Duelist101, you know, the team made up, they are amazing. So let's get right into them. I mean, these are the top 3 utility spells that I want to see added to Wizard101 to fix PvP. The first spell that I came across that I thought was really cool is a spell called Splice. Now, it's a 7 pip balance spell, as you guys can see, and the idea behind it is that you can cast any spell next round and you lose all your pips after. So basically the way it works is that it removes all the pip cost of any spell that you want to use next round. Now, why is this really cool? I think this is a really cool idea because, one, 7 pips is nothing small. As a balance wizard, you could do a lot with 7 pips, but if you're in a rough spot, this could be really interesting. Now, this doesn't have to belong to the balance school. I would argue that this could actually happen in any school. I think the reason it's balanced is because, you know, it's a way to, like, embody the balance. Like, it's like Zen with all the schools, so I think that's why it's balanced. But the idea is you can literally use any spell. You could use a Freet if you want. You could use, I don't know, I thought that was like a big one. You could use Storm Owl if you have a TC of it. You could use Spiny Sword if you've been blading up for it. You can literally use anything. This would open up strategies for balance that have never existed before. And honestly, I would argue that this would actually be something that, if you use creatively, could be better than lore, first off. And honestly, even more importantly than that, it would actually make it so that PvP doesn't just come down to who has more ward talents on their pets. You know, everyone just puts balance ward on their pets, and everyone just jacks up their damage and lore spams more. It's a really bad cycle, and this is a type of spell that would really fix it. I think that it's a very good idea. The idea that you can literally do anything is obviously, like, I would be scared about the repercussions, but the strategies are available. You can literally blade with life spells, use this, and then use a Spiny Sword. You know, like, you could use spells that literally, even with a master, you can't use. You know, it's absolutely crazy. You know, like, if you don't have a master, you cannot use these spells. And then it opens up the possibility to do so. So I think Splice is a really cool idea. The reason why I think it's really cool is because it would probably take down lore spamming a lot. And maybe it's more powerful than lore spamming, but it would be a lot less obnoxious and maybe a little bit more counterable for some people who, you know, maybe they see it coming. I don't know. I want y'all to tell me what your opinion of this spell is as we move on to the next one, my mans. Hoya! Now, the next really cool spell that I saw on the Wizard101 site, this one is really cool to me just because the mechanic is absolutely fire. It's a 14 pip spell. I know what y'all are thinking. Sauce! What are you doing, Sauce? What are you doing? No! Alright, listen, alright? This joint is hot, alright? And let me explain to you why, alright? The way the spell works, right? First up, for the 14 pips, you do 1,000 storm damage, you get 500 health back, alright? I would assume that you can enchant this with either a damage enchant or a primordial if, you know, that tickles your pickle, as they figuratively might say, if you're, the cool kids say that, oh, I don't know, okay. But, the thing that's attached to this is that it costs 1 less pip for every hit that you take. So, let's say you're a Storm Wizard, you're literally getting spammed, right? Like a Lore Master, you get 1 Lore Master, it's 13 pips. Another Lore Master, it's 12 pips. This is a really cool spell, just because Storm has the problem of not even being able to tank many hits, right? So, if you were to get into a position where you were able to tank a lot of hits, this would be a really powerful way to recover. And you could actually get this down to theoretically a very small number of pips if you play really well. This would bring back a great way for Storm to heal and a great way for them to recover after getting spammed with hits too much, you know? I think this is a really cool idea. I personally would reduce the pip cost from 14 to like 10 just because Storm can do a devastating amount of damage anyways. So I don't see why it's 14. The mechanic, however, is what I dig. I don't really see any problems with it besides a really high pip cost. Let me know what you guys think. And let me know, if, like, what do you think? Like, would a Fire Elf every overtime would reduce the pip by 1? You know, maybe then it should be 14 pips. I don't know. But I thought it was a really cool mechanic. Much like fixing how balanced PvP works, I feel like this spell would definitely fix the dynamics around Storm PvP for the better. I don't really know, though. You know, I'm not really the type of person to, like, do that much max Storm PvP, but I really think this would fix a lot. Maybe I'm being naive. Y'all let me know. Let's move on to numero 3. Now, the last spell that I want to showcase for you guys is called Frigid Blast. As you guys can see, it's an ice spell. Very interesting that it is an ice spell. I would normally not want to give more utilities to ice that are this useful, but I mean, just for the sake of it, this could be, again, this could be like any school in my opinion. But let's say, forget about the school. We're going to focus on the mechanic. I think this is a really cool idea. The way it works is that for 7 pips, which I think is, you know, a very large number of pips, again, I would reduce this. I think utility spells generally need to be lower pips than that. But they add 1 pip to all the cards in the opponent's hand. And the opponent can't discard for a round. So what that means is that the opponent, no matter what they do, they either have to pass or they have to spend a pip that round. I think that's really an interesting spell. It would slow down the tempo a lot, which I think is a really good idea. But more importantly, I think just the idea of like, let's say you have like an entire hand set up and someone uses the spell, it could absolutely ruin your combos, you know? And I think like if you time this right, it could literally win you the match. So I think it's a very cool utility spell, very cool concept. I would put it down to like 5 pips. But that being said, I feel like using this spell would bring back a lot more predictive skill rather than just spamming endless pips, you know? That being said, it might not have as much of an effect as people want if it's just 1 pip. I think 2 pips is a much better thing to do if you were to keep the pip cost that way. Just because, like, if you have an Abominable Weaver in your hand and someone uses this, you're still going to use the Abominable Weaver because chances are if you have 5 pips, you probably have 6 pips, you know, because your power pip chance is high. So, I think that this should add more than 1 pip if you're not able to discard. But that being said, I don't really know how that affects the balance of PvP. But what I do think is that spells like this is what we need more of, so that you have more skill in PvP instead of just endless spamming from whoever goes first. A lot of these spells, they aim to fix what I think is a really big problem with max level PvP, but also to a certain extent, most PvP nowadays, it's very mindless, you know? If you're a Myth Wizard, there's a strategy. You just blade stack in King Art. If you're a Death Wizard, you Blade Stack and Skeletal. If you're a Balance Wizard, you spam Lore. If you're a Fire Wizard, you get Burning and then do that into an FFA. You know, like Luminous spam, you know, Abominable spam. I think we covered like literally all the schools. Wild Bolt spam, there you go. That's like all the schools. I think that's a problem when most of the schools are so dictated by the spells that they use that they really have no other efficient strategy. I think what we need more of is a way for a ward pet from first not to just ruin the match for whoever's second, and for like spamming strategies to like not be the only way you can win, so that people don't just keep setting for each other and people stop spamming, you know? Will it actually stop the spamming? I don't know. You know, that's a real question. You could argue that no matter what you add, lore spamming is going to be a thing because it's always been a thing. And you could say that nerfing the actual spells is the right way to go. But I think if you weren't to nerf them, adding spells like this with a lot of utility is the way to go. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much to Duelist101. Hopefully you guys are okay with making this video. I'll take it down if you guys want. I thought this was a great way to also give them credit. They're a great site. I would look at them if you're into PvP. Very cool utility spells. This is my opinion on them. Let me know if you guys think these 3 spells would fix PvP. Let me know if you agree with my reasoning. I love these kind of videos for the comments, so leave a comment. If you're new, drop a sub, and if you enjoyed, drop a like. And if someone hasn't told you awesome, they doing something wrong, check out my Twitch. I'm about to be streaming soon. And stay awesome, bruh. Yeah, yo.